Hi guys, and welcome to another kit review. So today, as you can see, we're having a look at a kit from Tamiya. It's in 1/35 scale, and it is their 3.7 centimeter anti-tank gun, pack 35-36. Okay, this particular kit is kit number 35035. It was issued in 1988. It is a rebox of the initial issue, which was from 1974. Which was a new tooling. It was actually issued before then, earlier in the 1970s, under kit number MM135, but then in 1974, Tamiya did a retooling. I'm not sure what they actually did. Might be just the figures, or it could have been the gun itself. And the kit number for that one was 3535. So this one is from 1988. It is still available. I believe it cost me around about $8 Australian. That is fairly cheap. It is a good little beginner's kit and a great little weekend build. Okay, definitely quite simple build. So as you can see, standard Tamiya white box, really nice artwork. I have seen a photo, I believe it's in one of my books, which is almost exactly the same as the poses for these figures. So that's probably where Tamiya got them from. Okay, so let's have a look at the rest of the box. On the side, you'll see 4 more of Tamiya's classic bread and butter lines from the 70s. There's the SAS Jeep, Dingo Scout car, 6-pounder anti-tank gun, and the 88. Okay, all of these came from the 70s and they are still available today. On the other side, you'll see insignia. So this is a painting guide for the insignia for your figures. It does have SS runes and the death's head. Okay, so I'm not sure if that's politically correct anymore, but it is what it is, guys. It is history. And on the back, you'll see it shows the pack 35-36 on a Hanamag 25110. You do actually get the parts to mount the pack gun on a Hanamag if you have the Hanamag model, so that's not bad accessory for this kit. Basic layout. Okay, I believe this is the Japanese is your paint callouts for the guns, because it appears to show paints to the tire, which will be black, etc. This is something else you get in the kit. It is a hollow charge projectile, which they issued for the pack 35-36 when they invaded Russia in Operation Barbarossa. They found that these things were literally just, the shells were just bouncing off the outside of the Russian tanks, and they needed something that would make a bit more of a dent. So they developed this hollow charge projectile. So that's an accessory that you get in the kit. And this is just a diagram showing your assembled figures and basic paint callouts. Okay, it's all in Japanese, so I can't tell you what it says. Okay, so that's the box. What did we actually get inside? 1 bag of sprues, which is literally just 2 sprues, the figures and the gun. A blurb from Tamiya about the thing, and 2 sets of instructions. Another interesting thing is on the end flaps for the box, you'll see here the accessories that you actually get in the kit. Okay, all right, and a rough idea of what color you're going to paint them. Okay, so as I said, you do get 2 sets of instructions. One is all in Japanese. The Japanese one is interesting in that it does have your unit layout. Okay, it does show you how the units were organized, as in your command, your communications, motorcycles, trucks, etc. So that's always a handy thing to have in your collection. Even though it's in Japanese, it's fairly easy to work out what's doing what. And the English instructions, which is English, okay, basically gives you a brief history of the gun, where it was used, etc. And then we just carry on with assembling the figures. Okay, you'll notice that the color callouts are in by name. Okay, so because this is a 1974 kit, this is before Tamiya had its own paint range, and therefore up until for probably late 80s at least, all they did was tell you what color to paint, and you could use whatever you wanted. Okay, well, you still can, but they didn't suggest Tamiya paints only. Okay, so this is just a diagram showing you how the crew sits, and also, again, all right, paint callouts, right, for the different parts of the gun. And it does say German grey here. So it says stick bomb. It's not a stick bomb. Okay, it's a hollow charge projectile. All right. So, but interesting enough, it does tell you what these parts are. So I do like that. An overleaf is just the construction. Like I said, this is a very simple, great beginner's kit. All right. So basically, you've got your gun breech mount going on. Okay. This is your traversing mechanisms, handles, etc. Gun shield, your trails going together. Okay, fairly simple, easy construction. It's a two-part gun base, right? Wheels go on, gun goes on, and that's it. So step 5 is literally 5 steps, very easy construction. This is showing you how the gun is mounted on a Hanomag, and you do get those parts to mount it on a Hanomag. These are your accessory ammunition tins. And that's it. Easy one. Okay, so in a minute we'll have a look at the sprues. Okay, so let's have a look at the sprues. And there are 2. That's it. This is the figure sprue. We'll put that one aside and we'll have a look at this one, which is the gun. And this is the complete gun. There's no other sprue for this, okay? Like I said, this is a very simple assembly of this one. Okay, so what you've got here is your wheels, of course, gun shield. There's your gun mounts. This is your hollow charge projectiles, okay? These are your ammo canisters here. So let's have a look-see. And first up, let's have a look-see. There you have it. There's the copyright, 1974, okay? Like I said, this is an 88 kit, and I've only just picked it up. Probably last year, I think, end of last year. So, yes, still using the old molds. There's your tires. They do have, it does look like, I think, it's supposed to say Continental. It says Continental on the tires, which is interesting. There is a bit of a mold line which will need to be sanded down along the middle of the tires and wheels, and they are, as you can see, one piece, and there are unfortunately some push out marks that will need to be dealt with. Okay, you might be able to sand them out, you may have to sand and fill. Okay, so let's turn this around again. There is your ammo canisters, spade. That's the top of an ammo canister, an open one. These are your gun trails, one-piece gun trails, okay. These are your hollow charge projectiles. So there is a bit of a cleanup. This mold is starting to, it should say projectile, I think, but you know what I mean. The mold is starting to show its age. There is a bit of flash that I can see along the mold lines, but nothing serious. You do get some shells, expended ones as well. You can probably see the mold line on the shells better, so that'll be a bit of a cleanup. This is the gun shield, of course. So it does have some nice detail on it. Let's have a look at the other side. There are some push out marks on the gun shield which will need to be cleaned up very, very carefully. You will see those so they do need a bit of a clean up. That is the bottom where the gun actually mounts to. Okay, as you can see, the very simple, straightforward construction. That is your actual gun breech, bottom of the gun barrel section. All right, so it is literally just the one screw for the gun. Very easy, but it will need a bit of a clean up. It is starting to show its age. Okay, so let's have a look at the figures. Now, there's no copyright on the figures, but I would presume that they're 1974, just like the gun. Okay, so they're not going to be the latest yeehaw fantastics. All right, but again, good practice figures for painting. There is going to be a fair bit of cleanup. You can see along the mold lines, there's a fair bit of flash. That's not a knife, by the way. That's actually a shell that this guy is loading into the breech of the gun. Okay, so you can see by the faces, they're old molds. The detail is quite heavy. Oops, sorry, that went out of focus. The straps and things are quite heavy detail. They're not, they stand out a lot from the bodies. But like I said, these are great for trying out different methods of painting figures. So you don't throw them away, you just assemble them, and then as you're watching a video or something like this, you can try out all these different techniques about how to get them done properly. Sorry, that's a bit of a jerk around, but I was trying to get this there. So you can see along the mold lines, there is going to be a fair bit of cleanup on these figures. The faces are basically the same, but you can get a bit of detail out of them. Okay, they're not too bad. For being in 1974 figures, they're not too bad at all. Okay, there's your hands. So they're not great, but like I said, good practice figures. All right, and you do get 4 of them, so you can practice varying techniques of painting. Okay, so that's literally it. You do get some accessories. You do get a K98, bayonets, water bottles, etc. with them. So even if you don't use the figures, you can use the accessories on a vehicle somewhere or something like that. Okay, so that's it. Just the 2 sprues. Okay, very simple, straightforward kit. That is Tamiya's Pack 3536. Okay, kit number 35035, 1988. All right, as I said, good little beginner's kit. All right, something you can do over a weekend. No stress, no drama. Anyway, guys, as I said, that's the end of this review. Thank you for watching. As always, thank you for your likes, your subscription, and your comments. Always appreciated. And as usual, until next time, take it easy, stay safe, and I'll see you later.